So this is the Math AMS quiz for week 5. So this is the formula that we've been doing since finals for quantity, which is Q final equals Q initial times e to the power of minus RT. This is the final amount. This is the initial amount. R is the rate. And time is just the half-life time. Okay. So they gave us literally everything but R. We need to find R first in order to solve. Like, you can't not find R, okay? So, to find R, here's what we have to do. We have to replace the final amount to find R with only Q initial. We do this. You replace the final amount with 1 over 2 equals to initial amount, you replace it with 1, e to the power of minus RT. The time we're going to be using first is 30 seconds. This is important to remember, seconds. Okay. So this is going to be, I don't know why I wrote this here, honestly. This is going to be 1 over 2 equals to 1 e to the power of minus 30r. Now what we need to do is we need to take down the power in order to solve for r, right? How do we do this? We multiply by ln. This is just a rule. So this is going to be ln 1 over 2 equals to. So ln brings down the power, okay. But it also crosses out e. So you get minus 30r. Now we need to solve for r, so we divide by minus 30. Divide by minus 30. You get r to be 0.0231. Okay. Careful, this is not the answer. We need to substitute this here. Okay. So we're gonna do the original formula, which is Q final, which we're trying to find, equals to Q initial, which is 512 grams, times e to the power of minus this 0.0231 multiplied by the time. Okay. So the time we used to find R, we cannot use again, okay? The half-life of this is 30 seconds. This is only to find R. I don't really know how to explain this, but it's logic because they're asking how many grams will be left after 4 minutes. So to find how many grams are left, we're going to use after 4 minutes, right? So you multiply by 4. 4 minutes, but this is in seconds. So we have to multiply by 60 in order to make it into seconds. So minutes to seconds is times 60. So times 4 times 60. You get the answer to be 2. And that's it. Okay, so like I flipped it vertically because it's like easier. But anyways, okay, what do we know about this right here that they gave us? This is called an exponential, I don't know how to spell it, exponential function. Why? Because whenever something is raised to the power of a variable, it's called an exponential function. Okay, what do you need to know about an exponential function? You need to know that the domain is a set of all real numbers always. Okay, and when you replace x into the power, it intersects the y-axis with whatever answer you got. Example, they're saying here if you replace x with 0, okay, you get y to be 1. So y equals to 4. They said replace it with 0. You get y equals to 1, of course. So this is correct. Okay, let's see. And it intersects the y-axis. It intersects the y-axis with 1 here. Okay, it does not intersect the x-axis because the x is gonna be 0. Okay, anyways, so this is correct. The domain of f is a set of all real numbers. I said exponential functions is always a set of all real numbers, so this is correct. The range is not. Okay. Okay, the range is just not for exponential functions. The horizontal asymptote of the curve representing f is the x-axis. Okay, horizontal asymptote is gonna be whatever is, let me like draw, ignore these graphs, I'm just gonna draw something like this. Okay, it's always gonna be what's here. Like, I can't really explain more, like, honestly. So this is the correct answer. Okay, for this, which graph is correct? You need to state 2 points here. Is the number here positive or negative? It's positive. Why is this important? This is important because we need to know where the graph is going to. So if it's positive, meaning it's increasing, meaning what? It's going left to right. Left to right. Okay, let's see. What graph is going here left to right? This one, okay. Not this one, this is wrong. And this one is, and this one is. Okay, so we crossed out one of them already. Next thing you need to do is identify the points. We said the points are 0, 1, right? So it has to intersect the y-axis at 0, 1. This is intersecting it at 0. This is intersecting it at 0 point something. This is intersecting it at 1. So this is correct. And it's going left to right. This is wrong because it's going right to left, meaning the whatever number here is negative, but it's not. It's positive. So, yeah. Okay. So for this question, an exponential function f is defined as the value blah 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 blah. Okay, what's the key thing they give us here? It's that they said there's a y-intercept of 55. What does y-intercept mean? This means x equals to 0. So first thing you have to do is replace x. Okay, you're going to replace x with 0 because they said y-intercept in each and every one. Here 0, here 0, here 0, here 0. You're only going to get 55 for one of them, which is this one. That's your first clue. You can do another, you can like verify it more by doing the 100% rule, which is going to be that they told you the value decreased by 5%. Okay, if you have 100%, okay, if you're selling a bottle for 100% and you decreased it by 5%, this becomes 95%, right? The person who's buying it is gonna pay 95% of its value. Okay? That's another clue because here it is also 95%. Okay, so like, that's it. It says here the exponential function f is defined such as f of x, which they put instead of x 0 equals to 5. Okay, what do we know? We know that f of x equals to y. They put f of 0 equals to 5. This means when you replace x as 0, you should get 5. Okay? You replace here by 0, you're not gonna get 5. You're gonna get 10, so this is wrong. Here by 0, you're gonna get 5, this is correct. Here by 0, I don't know what you're gonna get. It's gonna be wrong, wrong. Okay, so this is like the only answer. The given equation estimates the reselling price P in $1,000 of sports car of a certain Model T years after its purchase. What is the interpretation of the constant 0.95 in the equation? They want the interpretation of this, right? So we know, imagine you buy a car, okay, which you bought 100% of its value of. After a few years, the price is gonna decrease. You're gonna sell it for a less price, right? Here, it was 100%. It became 95%. It decreased 5%. That's the answer. So, where is it? Here. This is the answer. So it became 100 to 95. So it decreased 5%. Here they're asking, they want to know if this is linear. Okay. So first thing you need to do is estimate evaluate the sequence, right? Here, you multiplied by 2. Oh, you multiplied by 2, you got 8 times 2. 5, you multiplied by 2, you got 10. 7, you multiplied by 2, then added 1. Okay. 9, you multiplied by 2, and then again added 1. Here's the same thing, times 2, and then added 1. This means, here, you can see that you kept multiplying 2, meaning it's linear. It's constant, meaning it's linear. But you added 1 for some of them, meaning it's approximately linear. Okay? So, the relationship is approximately linear of each y used to take 5 jumpers? No, we're not multiplying by 5 every time, so this is wrong. The relationship is approximately linear since each wire may be used to make 2 jumpers. Yes. Wait, yeah. The relationship is approximately exponential. It cannot be exponential. Exponential means a number to the power of something. And nothing here to the power of anything equals to the number. So like 4 to the power of nothing is equal to 8, right? So there's no way this is exponential. So it's not. And this is also not. So the answer is this. So I actually skipped the arithmetic and geometric progressions because they're too easy. You just apply the formulas and that's it. Anyways, when they say annual interest rate, we're going to be using the formula, which is here, which is going to be PO times 1 plus the rate over 100 to the power of n equals to P5. Okay, they told us a principal of 8,000 is invested at the bank. So 8,000 times 1 plus r, which is 24%, over 100 to the power, of 15, because this is the time. But you have to be careful because this is not going to be the answer. They said here that it's monthly. Monthly means we're going to be using the same formula, except here you're going to multiply by 12. Here you're going to divide by 12. Okay, 15 times 12 is 180. So the answer here is 180. And then 24 divided by 12 is 2, right? So the answer here is going to just be 2, because that's going to be the interest. That's going to be the rate. The rate is 2. Okay. Which of the following is closest to the accumulated amount of money? So put this on your calculator, which we just got. 8,000 times 1 plus 2 over 100 to the power of 180. You get 282,566. So this is closest not to 3 million, not to 30,000, that's too little, to 300,000, that's reasonable because this is almost 300,000. So this is correct. This is 200,800. Bro, it's you understand. Okay, first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna write down the formula for half-life, which is quantity final equals to quantity initial times e to the power minus rt. Okay, they didn't give us r here, right? And we're also trying to find t. When we have such a thing, what we're gonna do is we're gonna find r, then find t. This is important because it'll make sense now, okay? Quantity final, they told us is 9, equals to quantity initial, which is 144, e to the power of minus r times t, which is 44 hours. You're gonna move this to the other side. 9 over 144 is 0.063 equals to minus 44 Okay, we need to take down the power and cross out e, so we multiply by ln on both sides. It's going to be ln 0.063, moves the other side over negative 44. You get, I'm gonna just type this in. Ln 0.063 over negative 44. You get 0.0283. So R equals 0.06283. Okay, so now, no, wait. You get the same thing, yeah, same thing, 0.063. Don't know why I would say it like that. Okay, now what you're gonna do, that you found the R now, we're gonna find T. So the reason why we didn't do the thing that I told you about substituting 1 over 2 and 1 is because, remember, you have to find the rate, and then you have to find the time. When you find the rate first, this means you can take advantage. You can use the time that they gave you first. You can use everything they gave you first, which you cannot use to find the time. You can't, okay? It's just a rule. You can't use it to find the time if you've already used it to find the R. So that means what we have to do for the time is we have to do the substitution method, okay? That's gonna be 1 over 2 equals to 1 e power minus R, which we got is 0.063, times the time, which we're trying to find. Multiply by ln to take this down and cross out this. So we're gonna get ln 1 over 2 equals to negative 0.063t, moves to the other side, over is negative 0.063. You get, I'm gonna just type this in, ln 1 over 2 over 0.063. You get 11. So time is 11. And that's the answer for the first one. For the second one is easier. It's basically, whatever. Basically, part B, this is part A. Part B, in 50 hours, we're gonna use the formula. Will be reduced to what? So that we want QF equals to QO, which we said is 144, e to the power of minus R, which we got here is 0.063 minus 0.063 times the time, which they gave us is 50. Put that in the calculator. See what I get. Minus 0.063 times 50. You get 6.1, which is just 6 grams. So it's 11 and 6. For this question, we don't use the normal formula for interest rate because they said accumulated capital. Whenever they say accumulated capital, we have a formula which is, let's write it down, it's S of n equals to 100 times p over I into 1 plus I over 100 to the power of n minus 1. Okay, let's identify what everything is. This is the capital. This is the rate. This is the rate. This is the time in years, so years. Okay, now just substitute. So that's gonna be S of n equals to 100 times capital, which is 3,000. So times 3,000 over 6. Okay, into 1 plus the rate, which is 6 over 100 minus 1. Okay, so what you're gonna get here is you're gonna get 5,000. Wait, there's something wrong. No. Yeah. Here you get 5,000, 50,000, sorry. Bracket 1.06. If you just type this into your calculator individually. 1.06 to the power of, sorry, I forgot the n. You don't have the n, okay? To the power of n minus 1. That's gonna be 50,000. Oh, this is for part A. Yeah, we got the answer for part A. This is the answer for part A. They wanted it without finding n, right? Second part, we found n, which is 14. So 50,000 bracket 1.06 to the power of 14 minus 1. You type exactly this and you get an answer of, let me just type this in, 50,000 bracket 14. You get 6304.5 to the nearest dollar, by the way, so like just round it to the nearest dollar. So whenever they give you a repeated pattern, and they're asking for a series, okay, first thing you're gonna do is you're gonna see how long or how many zeros you have to multiply it by to get it after the first pattern. Here you have to multiply by 1, 2 zeros times 100. This means your first term is gonna be 87 over 100. Your second term, you're gonna multiply 100 again. You get 8787 over 10,000. So on. They're asking here for just the first term, so that's gonna be 87 over 100, which is 0.087. Okay. When expressed as a ratio of two integers, the numerator is what? We took this in my grade 1, so, but anyways, I'm just gonna explain it. 0.878787 x equals to this. Okay. How long did it take us to get it after the first pattern? We said times 100, so this becomes 100. X equals to 87.878787. You must subtract them, of course. This crosses out. You get 87 minus 0, which is just 87, equals to 1x minus 100, which is 99x. Move this to the other side, it becomes 87 over 99, and that's the answer, 87 and 99. This is half-life again, so QF, which is 10, equals to 100, equals to 100 e to the power of minus r t. Time is 17, but they should give us 2 times, okay? لأنه when you use 1 for r, you need to use another one to find anything else. You can't use the same time for r for anything else. This means what we're gonna do is after this we're gonna find t by substituting 1 over 2 and 1. Okay, so we're gonna move this to the other side. 10 divided by 100 is gonna be 1 over 10 equals to e to the power of minus 7r. Get rid of the e, take this down, so times ln 1 over 10 equals to minus 7r. Move this to the other side. This is over minus 7. So R equals to this. You get, on your calculator, you get R to be 0.1354. You found R. Now you can find the time. Okay. You can find the time by doing the formula. Wait. By the way, they asked for half-life. Half-life basically means time. Anyways, we're gonna use the formula, which is QF. Yeah. QF equals to QO minus ERT. So we already used the time for this, meaning we can't use this. Okay. We have the rate. What's that? We can't use the time. So we're gonna try finding the time, yeah? We're gonna substitute 1 over 2 here. It's gonna be 1e to the power of minus r, which is 0.1354 t, times ln. You get 1 over 2 ln 1 over 2 over negative 0.1354. You get, on your calculator, you get t to be 5 years. Now, when you let me like recap a bit. When you have the first time but you don't have the second time, you have to find the rate using the first time that they gave you. Okay, you don't have the second time, so you're gonna find it by substituting 1 over 2 and 1. This is just how you do it. These are just the steps. I know it's hard to understand, but yeah. So they said the given function models V volume in centimeters cubed of air remaining in volume T after the hole was put on the wall, the volume of the air from... Okay. Here the keyword, the key sentence at least, is the volume of the air in the air balloon before it started being deflated. So it was deflated, meaning it was 0, right? So this was 0, meaning you're just gonna substitute this with 0. So you get 5 plus 70 e to the power of minus 0.0400. Yeah, you get 75. And that should be the answer. So Rania receives 35 each week in allowance. In a certain week, she used 30% of her allowance to buy snack bags for her pet. So what does this mean? This means she did 30% of how much of her allowance, which is 35, right? Let's say I get 35 allowance, okay, and I wanted to buy food for my dog, okay. It says, and I wanted to use 30% of my allowance, okay, not 100%, not 40%. I wanted to use 30% of my allowance. So 30% of 35, you get 10.5. But she said each bag costs 1.5. How many snack bags did she buy? So you do 10.5 divided by 1.5. This is like logic, okay? You get 7. She bought 7 snack bags. Molina bought 5 bags of garden soy that were all at the same price. The bags were discounted up to it. Okay, let's say you want to buy a gift box. Okay. In Ramadan, they had, because it was Ramadan, they had a 40% discount. Okay. What does this mean? This means you're only paying 60% of the actual price, right? So 60% of the actual original price, which we're trying to find, And then you gave a $10 coupon, so you minus 10 by whatever 60% you were gonna pay. So you minus 10, it became cheaper. At the end, you paid $32. Move this to the other side, 60 over 100, x equals to 42. Cross this. So 60 over 10, x equals to 42. Move this to the other side, 6x equals to 420. So therefore, x equals to 70. Right, but I bought 5 bags. I paid 70 for everything, but I bought 5 bags. This means you have to divide by 5. So x equals to 14.